Jared Spalding here, and I am bringing you the truth about diamonds and diamond rings. The truth is that first of all, this may kind of surprise you. I'm sure. Well, I'm going to talk about the things that pretty much everyone knows. By now, I'm sure you know that in South Africa, many big diamond mines have been found, and that now they're just a monopolization on them from the companies that produce diamond rings and other things like that involve diamonds, and that they just put them out in a very short supply, even though if they put them out of what they were actually worth from commonness, then they would not be worth nearly as much. But did you know that there's actually an average of around a 50% markup to a 1000% markup, which I thought was pretty interesting because it's a very big difference. Now notice how I don't have any diamonds because they're so expensive. But the diamond ring itself, you may think, is very old, and it's a decent age, but it's really only from less than like 100 years ago, when the first companies invented them. Well, the first company. And there was commercials for them and everything, and everyone thought it was a good idea. Now, diamonds are pretty amazing in the sense that they are very resistant to scratching. They're able to destroy and damage pretty much all other gemstones, or all other gemstones that we know of. They're like they're the hardest natural thing known, besides like a few other minerals, but they're like the strongest mineral that we know. Although there are other things now being discovered that may be stronger. However, they're the strongest thing that we can test, I'll say. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is that you're overpaying for your diamonds, and the only way that if you get a good deal on the diamonds is that it's usually fake. It's usually very common diamonds. Same thing with gold. If you find like gold nuggets, it's usually not real. It could be usually fool's gold. Same thing with the diamonds. Only these diamonds, people can actually pass off as real. And then what's going to happen then is you're going to find out that they're very hard to tell the differences between. I'm not going to get into the differences right now. I'm just going to tell you that they are highly monopolized, like I told you. They're not worth much, and they could be put to better use. If we actually did take all the diamonds that we had and use them for other things that are way more important, like gold and silver we use in computers, if we use diamonds, obviously you can't use them for armor or vehicles, even though they're very strong, because, I mean, granted, they are in a larger supply than we realize, but we would eventually run out. Plus, it'd be way too heavy for vehicles. But, however, you could try using them for other important uses. Scientists aren't really sure exactly how many uses you could get from them. But it's known that they could be better than just sitting on a ring on your finger that either you or your spouse bought for thousands of dollars. They could be used for testing on certain objects. If you could test the power of certain objects based on diamonds and other strong minerals, you could just do other things with them. They could make very interesting designs, as they actually do blur color that hits them. They could be used as, well, not like safety masks, but they do disperse heat immediately upon getting hit with it. That's why when fog hits them, it immediately leaves from them. Since fog is just steam, basically, that's heated. Like, it's just hot air. It's the same. Diamonds disperse the heat very quickly, so they burn at very high temperatures. So they could be used maybe for at least parts of walls. If they're crushed up, you line them on top of walls very thinly. They're not unflammable. Titanium burns at a much higher temperature. However, they don't burn until like 1,167 degrees or something like that. Something around there. You can research that yourself. So they could be used for walls. Titanium was the same thing. I mean, that doesn't burn to like 3,300 something degrees. So that's a little bit different. But nonetheless, they're both very fire retardant. And diamonds could be used, what I'm trying to say, for other important things besides our own personal greed, which is what the companies basically have, which is just sell them for so much, and then everybody thinks that they're worth a lot. Some people still do think that they're rare, but most people realize that they're not really that rare at all. And to get to another interesting fact for you real fast, there's actually now a planet discovered that is nearly twice the size of Earth, roughly, and it is completely covered in diamonds and graphite, as opposed to water and soil and other rocks and stuff like that. And also, one interesting thing about diamonds on Earth is that they're around 1 to 3 billion years old. They were shot open from ancient volcanoes from around 8 miles below the Earth's surface. And so, I mean, some of them were here when, like, only shortly after the origins of life. So, I thought that was pretty interesting. A lot of people do know that now, too. So, I just wanted to give you guys a quick video, tell you to be a little more investigative. If I probably said that wrong, but just investigate if you're about to buy a diamond. Don't just buy it based on what the market thinks it's worth. Just buy something else that actually is worth it, like gold or something of that nature. Well, that's it for now. Peace, love, and much respect, and God bless the trolls.